Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of When Crap Hits the Fan. Oh, dear God. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to talk about what the news is not talking about, or in my area, not mentioning at all. The 500 people that were rounded up in the Hyundai plant down in Georgia. And the kicker, the person that blew the whistle is running for representative of District 12 in Georgia. I don't know her name, but I know she's a white lady with blonde hair. Long. Last name begins with a B. So if you're in Georgia, look out for her. And if you're in District 12, I apologize. What did she do? She's the one who snitched and called ICE that the plant was hiring illegal immigrants to work. No papers. So ICE swarmed down, as some of us may have seen in the news. Most of us have not. Not in my area. But anywho, I have a Republican governor, senator, representative. We are so red over here, it ain't funny, so we don't get no news. We don't get the news that they're protesting in California and Chicago or New York. We don't get to see none of that. Our airwaves are censored. So if you are in these areas and you see things going on, post them, because they may be seen on TV where you're at, but they are not being seen around the country. This is being censored. Now, what I found out on my own, because I don't watch news no more. They are bought and paid for by big corporations. We need to do our own research, look at papers in other areas. I went down the rabbit hole and ended up in Georgia. Long story, dead issue. What I did find out is that the representative a candidate running to represent District 12 in Georgia snitched and called ICE. ICE came down and rounded up 500 people. It went down as the biggest ICE raid in history. 500 people. Now, they are reporting that there were undocumented workers. 3. They rounded up 500 people just to find 3. Yeah. By them doing this, you've got, first off, the people that were there, and I don't know if you ever set up a business, but when the ink is dried on the documents, you gotta build the factory. How are people supposed to build a factory here in the States if they don't know what the owners want? So what Hyundai did is they brought over the South Korean citizens that had all their papers in order to come over and work on this factory, to start it, to get it up off the ground. They had their papers. They were legal. They were here legal. Now, you have to understand, human beings are flawed. Every system human beings made are going to be flawed. The flaw is a few people, went through the system and got through. Even if they find 5 immigrants that did not have their papers, up to now they got 3, but if they find 2 more, that means that the system the South Koreans were using is 99% effective. Just let that sit in. You got a system so good that's 99% effective. But anyway, moving right along. 3 people taken. What happened to the other 497? They are being detained at ICE detention centers. They are legal citizens of another country here on work visas, and they're being held against their will. There are diplomats coming over, if they're not in this country right now, negotiating the release of their own citizens. This is what you call an international incident. This one woman who wanted to get brownie points with the MAGA group just caused an international incident. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. Those 500 people, yeah, they were new to the area. Well, excuse me, 497. Let me be specific. Until otherwise notified and the numbers change. That's what they stand at my best knowledge. So these 497 people at the time of recording are renting places to live. They gotta buy groceries. They gotta get clothes, probably their entertainment, supplies to live. You know, they're adding a lot of money to the local economy there. And that's just a few that were there. When this was over, you see, the whole point is that those people were there, those South Koreans were there to start the project to get it off the ground. In other words, they were the teachers. Oh, girls snitched on the teachers. You know what the teachers were going to do? They were going to teach Americans how to do their job. So I'm going to hire you. And I'm going to teach you how to do my job. And then I go home. And I leave you with the company. That was a win-win solution. But oh no. The foreign workers, that was enough to trigger. Enough to trigger. We got to get the foreign workers out. Okay, fine. You got them out. Bottom line, and put aside that these people were here legally. Put aside that they're being held against their will in a detention center. Put aside that the blonde-headed bimbo just caused an international incident because now the dictators are here. Dictators. Oh, look at me, a slip of the tongue. Did I have a Freudian slip? I apologize. The diplomats are here to bring home their people. Put all that aside. The bottom line is that whatever the candidate that blew the whistle on these legal citizens that were here under visa, had their papers, just cost Georgia $350 billion. Okay, let that sit in. $350 billion to the state of Georgia. You're looking at local economy that's never going to get better now, if they can hang on at all. Because these mom and pop shops were kind of depending on this Hyundai factory being open, so they could sell more donuts and coffee and another extra shirt or pants that may have kept them afloat. Who knows? But all those thousands of people that were going to be there, the workers that were there yesterday, last week, it's all gone, along with $350 billion. Now, word through the grapevine is they're going to abandon the whole project altogether. So not only do we lose the 497 people that were adding to the economy of the local area, we lose the thousands and thousands of jobs in the future once the plant was up and working. We lose the $350 billion that could have helped the state. But now they have a monstrosity, partially erected, not quite finished, open to the weather, and they don't have a plan. What do we do with this? Do we disassemble it? Who's required to, who pays whom to disassemble what? And what do you do with the parts once you disassemble it? Or do you just leave the monstrosity hanging till the weather takes it out? If it's in Georgia, wait for a hurricane to come by. But anyway, I digress. Oh, that's what was on my mind. Please. Before I leave, I want to touch on that money business. If you had given your friend $350 to hang on to this for a minute, I have plans, I just need to, if someone in your family, a friend, costs you to lose $350, not thousands, not 3,500, just $350, you'd be a little bit perturbed. Well, this candidate who's running for representative in District 12 of Georgia just cost the entire state $350 billion. Yay. So you can imagine Governor Kemp is livid with her. But he's a whole other kettle of fish that I'm not crazy about either. I'm neither left or right. I'm straightforward. I don't pay attention to these people because no matter what we say or do, they're going to do what they want to do anyways. It just burns me up. If you look into a room and you don't see a leader, that's because you are the leader. I believe in that. And I'm not happy what's going on. So, anyway, please tell me your thoughts, your opinions. What do you think that's going on? Till next time, guys, we're going to hope for the best. We're going to prepare for the worst. And I guarantee you, kids, we're all going to end up somewhere in the middle. Bye.